Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in. Steven here with Team Euphoric, and this is day 7 of the 80 Days to Your Dream Body course. Today's protein source is going to be mackerel, and today is a chest training day. And right now, I am going to be taking you through the full stretching routine that you're going to perform after you finish training the chest workout. Now let's get started. And this brings us to the stretching routine. I have got 2 stretches for you guys. We are going to be doing one for the anterior deltoid and one for the pectoralis major. For the first stretch, it is going to be for the anterior deltoid. And for the anterior deltoid stretch, this is going to be a PNF stretching exercise. So for myself, I am going to be using a strength band. If you don't have one of these strength bands, you can use either a yoga strap, or you could even use something like an anchor point from any type of squat rack, and just use something that's static and nice and firm that you could anchor onto. But if you do happen to have a strength band or a yoga strap, those would be ideal. What you're going to do is, with the strength band or yoga strap, whatever you have, you want to go ahead and you are going to fish it around your elbow, and then you want the strap located behind your back. It's very important that it is behind your back. If you recall, the anterior deltoid is responsible for flexion, abduction, and medial rotation. So because it's responsible for flexion, adduction, and medial rotation, we want to do the opposite when we are stretching it. So we are going to go into extension, we are going to go into lateral rotation, and we are going to go into a deduction by driving it toward the midline. So first thing that we want to do is we are going to walk across. When we walk across, that is going to induce an adduction force with the band. Then what we want to do is walk forward to induce extension, and then to induce the lateral rotation, all we're going to do is turn our palm away from us. From this position right over here, we are just going to hold it in this stretch position for 6 seconds. Once 6 seconds has passed, we are then going to engage the muscle. So we are going to bring the arm forward and wrap it around. So we're going into flexion, medial rotation, and adduction by trying to bring it across that way. Hold for 6 seconds and relax and get deeper into it. So we're stepping on an oblique angle and rotating the arm out. Holding that for 10 seconds and engaging. So we're going to flex, medially rotate, adduct by pushing into our side, and relax. And we are going to get a little bit deeper into the stretch. So we're going on an oblique angle to induce the extension and adduction, and then we are rotating our arm out to go into lateral rotation. And we've got one final pass. Contract for 6 seconds. After 6 seconds, we are going to relax. And on this final pass, we are going to hold it for 20 seconds. Whenever we do PNF stretching, it's 6 seconds contract, 10 seconds relax. 6 seconds contract, 10 seconds relax. 6 seconds contract, 20 seconds relax, and then we're all done. So I'm just going to go ahead. I think that was about 20 seconds. And we're going to do the same thing now on the opposite side. So for this one right over here, I'm just going to go ahead and fish my elbow right into the strap. And then I'm going to walk over. So for this one right over here, I'm just going to go so that it brings me into extension, adduction, and lateral rotation. We're going to hold that. Now we're going to engage the muscle. So for the count of 6, contract. So we're going into flexion, medial rotation, pushing into our sides to get the adduction, and exhale, relax after 6 seconds. Get deeper into it. We're going to hold that for 10 seconds. After 10 seconds, we are going to, again, contract for 6. So flexion, adduction, medial rotation. After 6 seconds, get deeper into the stretch. And we got one final pass. So we are going to contract. Hold that for 6 seconds. Relax. Get deeper into it. And on this final one, we are going to hold on for 20 seconds. And then once that 20 seconds is up, we're going to move on to the pec stretch. I think we got about 5 seconds left. And relax. And that is it for the PNF stretching exercise for the anterior deltoid. The second stretch is going to be for the pectoralis major. Specifically, we are going to be targeting the superficial fibers of the pectoralis major, and we are going to be doing a myofascial stretching exercise for the pectoralis major. So for this one right over here, we are going to be in a prone position. What we want to do, because the pectoralis major is responsible for horizontal adduction, medial rotation, flexion, we are going to lay down on our stomachs. We are going to bring our arm to the level of the glenohumeral angle. If you don't know where that is, it's anywhere between 90 to 135 degrees. For the average person, when your palm is at the level of your forehead, when your arm is extended, that's roughly going to be the glenohumeral angle. But from this position right over here, what we're going to do is we are going to pin our arm down to the ground. So the glenohumeral joint, you want to make sure that it's pinned. You're going to go into maximum extension of the elbow and wrist, maximum external rotation by turning the palms out. The ear of the side that you're stretching is going to hover on the ground. And then to target the superficial fibers, because the superficial fibers attach to the fascia in the rectus abdominis, what we want to do is we are going to flex the knees, dorsiflex the ankles, and evert the ankles. The reason we're doing this is because when we flex the knees, the rectus femoris attaches to the patella, and it also attaches to the ASIS, the AIIS, the anterior inferior iliac spine, and the pelvis is going to have an attachment point to the rectus abdominis, because the rectus abdominis attaches to the pubic symphysis. So when we flex the quads, we are going to engage the rectus abdominis by way of pulling on the pelvis. So we are going level of the glenohumeral angle, extension elbow and wrist, maximum external rotation, ear down to the ground, which I can't do because my earpiece is in, so it will mess everything up. And for 30 seconds, we're going to get into a push-up position. And while pinning the arm down, we just want to roll onto our shoulder without letting it leave. 30 seconds starting now. So you're just going to keep that arm out and then just roll onto it. If you have really tight biceps, you may even feel it in the biceps. Okay, we're going to rest. Let me pause that for a second. Arm at the level of the glenohumeral angle, maximum extension elbow and wrist, maximum lateral rotation. Pin that shoulder down to the ground. We've got the knees flexed, the ankles in dorsiflexion and eversion. Our ear is down to the ground, and for this one, I should actually put it onto the ground. And we are going to start 30 seconds now. So get that arm over, and you are going to try to roll onto your shoulder without letting the glenohumeral joint leave the ground. 10 seconds left. And we're going to rest. To enhance the effects of the stretch, we could also do some antipulsion of the femur, of the humerus. So when the arm is out, also imagine that somebody is yanking your arm away from you. So try and push it away from your body as much as you can. But we're pinning it down, and 30 seconds starting now. Use that arm to roll onto your shoulder as much as you can. Make sure that it remains pinned to the ground. You don't want it to leave. Point those fingers as far back as you can. Make sure you keep that maximum extension of the elbow and wrist. And we've got 10 seconds left. And we are going to pause that. We're going to get to the other side. So lateral rotation, glenohumeral angle, pin that glenohumeral joint down, ear down to the ground, and 30 seconds starting now. Use the opposite arm to roll over onto the shoulder. Really imagine that you are pushing your palm away from you as far as you can. So imagine that somebody is grabbing a hold of your wrist and just yanking on you. Okay, we've got one more on each side. If you recall, with the myofascial stretching exercises, we always perform 3 sets of 30 seconds. So pin that shoulder down, extension elbow and wrist, maximum external rotation, 30 seconds starting now. All right, we got one left on the opposite side. And then once we finish this, that is it for the day. 30 seconds starting now. And relax. And that concludes day 7 of the 80 Days to Your Dream Body course. Drop your comments down below. Let me know what you guys thought of today's workout and what you thought of the muscle testing. But otherwise, I will see you again tomorrow. Thanks for sticking around until the end of the video. Be sure to like, share, and leave a comment as it'll help the algorithm. And if you enjoyed the content, show your support by subscribing to the channel by clicking on the icon in the bottom right corner. And if you really want to show your support, then consider becoming a member by clicking on the icon in the bottom left corner. These new high quality videos aren't cheap to edit, and the $5 membership will really help with the video editing budget. You'll also get access to a ton of exclusive perks like early access to videos and this program design lecture playlist in the top right hand corner. And if you want to learn how to do a one-armed pull-up, then check out the playlist on the top left corner.